have the beads. And so we work with the first space always. Get your half double in, and then we're going to go to the next chain one. I'm getting confused. I'm confusing myself. We're going to slide our bead on and go to the next space. Chain one, and the next bead. The next space. Get your half double in. Chain one. Pull your bead. Go into the next space. Get your half double in. Chain one. And then that last space. And chain your three. And again, this row, we don't add beads. And that's how you work those rows all the way, and adding your beads, and then you do one final row. Let me move that out of the way for a minute, of single crochet. Okay, I've just completed my last set of beads, and I'm going to chain one, and this last row, instead of it being a half double row, it's just a single crochet row. So we're going to go in the first space and make a single crochet, and behind the bead, single crochet, and behind the next bead, single crochet, behind the next bead, single crochet. If you notice, we're not adding a chain in these. It kind of like pulls it a little closer together at the top edge. Okay, and then when we get to that last chain and we get our single crochets in, now we're going to chain 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now what we're going to do, if you followed the guide, I had given you instructions at the beginning of the video where you place all your markers. And now this is at the end step, but I'll remind you again, it's at your last single crochet before your half double in the second round. But you can just kind of scoot over and use that outer loop on the outside of that, and you should have a marker there. And so we're going to use the inner loop, and we're going to pull that, make a slip stitch there. So I believe it's this loop, and we're going to pull that up because I dropped it there, and make the slip stitch. And we're going to do just like we did with the 70. We're going to slip stitch up. So make sure you're using the right side of the stitches so that they'll be nice and flat and even. And if you hold on to them and keep them straight, they'll come out really good. And so you're going to just slip stitch up that chain 10, and we're going to do that on the other side too. We're going to slip stitch across and then chain the 10. These shoes are so simple to do. I guess you can see that. If I'm getting off camera, I'm watching my work, and the camera is kind of doing its own thing. I'm just hoping it's on the work. I know I've reviewed some of it and it's not centered. but when I look at it, it is. So bear with me. So I'm getting to the top of this, and I'm gonna using the top loop, single slip stitching across those single crochets, and then I'm gonna get to that last one. I'm gonna use both of them, slip stitch it, and then we're gonna 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, and we're going to go down to that instep, and it's probably better if you take your needle out and insert it in here on this one and pull it through my marker. We're going to slip stitch that, and I'm going to turn this over like that so I can be working with the smooth part of the stitch. It might be underneath because of the way we pulled it through, but just make sure that you work with the top part or the flat part of the chain, and they come out a little bit better and won't look all twisted looking. You know, if you're doing it wrong, it'll start looking all twisted looking. Okay, and we're going to fasten it off like we did the other side. Okay, we're almost there and almost complete with these. Okay. Where am I? Right here. Okay, we're going to reinforce that by going down between the chain, and then we're gonna clip that. Now you know all of the ends you weave in. You don't just clip them, you weave them in. Okay, now I'm going to show you how we're going to reinforce the bottom on this sandal. But I like to, when I tie them, and you're going to weave in the tail right here. You can weave it in up through the tie or weave it back across the back of it. I just didn't get to that point. I like to do them at the very end when I finish all my work. But what I do is when I tie them, I just take the ties and I bring them forward and I take them underneath both of the front, things like that. And get your foot in there or put your foot in, and then you crisscross it here. Crisscross it. And then wrap it around your leg and crisscross it and then tie it again in the front. Or however, you can put them on, practice with them, whichever way that you like them. But then that's basically how I make the gladiator sandals. Now I'm going to show you how to reinforce the bottom.